Hey, Michael Fellman. Appreciate the comments. You know, I've been a football fan for a long time, and I grew up here in Houston, Texas, and before the Texans came about, uh, and really, even though the Houston Oilers were around growing when I was growing up, my family has always been with the Dallas Cowboys because my dad's been watching it since the '70s when Tom Landry was the head coach, and I've been a fan since. But I'm not one of those crazy lunatic fanatics, Cowboy fans who uh, love to get in someone's face and tell them, "Hey, even though the Cowboys lost, you guys still suck because we got the 5 Super Bowl championships and whatnot." No, I'm not that kind of guy. I mean, I always look at what's going on right now, and right now, in fact, right now, both the Cowboys and the Eagles are sort of in rebuilding mode. I mean, so I enjoy the game of football very much. It's funny because in that video that Kmart posted, uh, really that game, the onside kick by the Eagles set the tone, and the tone was the Cowboys were way unprepared. Dave Campbell was the new head coach, a new offense, new defense. Mike Zimmerman's first year as a defense coordinator, and it was just a disaster from the beginning. Troy Aikman had negative yardage. Emmitt Smith had less than 50 rushing yards. Joey Galloway, in his first year as the Cowboys, only caught one ball, I think. Nothing went right for the Cowboys. On the other hand, and frankly, that was the ultimate decline, the start of decline for the Cowboys for the next 3 years until before Bill Parcells came in. On the other hand, you had the Eagles who were up and coming. They hired Andy Reid the previous year in 1999. That's when they drafted Donovan McNabb, and even though I think they were 6-10 in Reid's first year. I still think they were a force to be reckoned with the following season because you had Jim Johnson, the defensive coordinator, and then you had Lito Shepherd, Brian Dawkins, Deuce Staley, and sure enough, in 2000, things got off on the right track for the Eagles, and it was the beginning of a dynasty for the Eagles in a sense because for the next 4 years they would go to the NFC Championship game every time. And despite the fact that they didn't win the Eagles in those championship games, I still thought they were a great team, and they should have won a Super Bowl ring, but they didn't. But yeah, that Eagles team from 2000 to 2004, that was by far, arguably one of the best eras in Philadelphia Eagle history. Uh, and to be honest, I was rooting for them in the Super Bowl against the Patriots because, I mean, first of all, I hate the Patriots, but on the other hand, I thought the Eagles, they were really going to be the upset, but it wasn't. And then you had Terrell Owens starting this crap that McNabb was hurt and couldn't. But no, man, I'm one of those cool fans, those cool football fans who appreciates other teams, respects them. Not just the Eagles, but uh, I respect the 49ers because the Cowboys and the 49ers had some kind of rivalry going on in the early '90s. Well, starting really in the early '80s with the Catch, because that was another sort of beginning for the 49ers, their dynasty, and a little slowdown for the Cowboys because they would not reach the Super Bowl again until the early '90s. While on the other hand, the 49ers were going strong with Joe Montana, Bill Walsh. Then you had Jerry Rice come in 1985. They won four Super Bowls during the '80s. And I was born in '89, but watching shows like America's Game and ESPN Classic, I mean, Joe Montana was just great, and he is the true Joe Montana, not Tom Brady. I can't believe people are comparing Tom Brady to Joe Montana. Joe Montana arguably, no, not even arguably. He is unarguably better than Tom Brady. Plus, Joe Montana had class. Tom Brady, in my opinion, doesn't. And I point to the Super Bowl against the Giants in 2007 when it was clear they weren't going to win, and him and Bill Belichick just walked off without even congratulating the Giants. I mean, I thought that was very selfish of Tom Brady. So, and Joe Montana, on the other hand, as far as I know from seeing him, he took it like a gentleman, especially in that quarterback controversy with Steve Young. I mean, I give props to Steve Young, but Joe Montana was the quarterback of the 49ers. Again, I mean, just to show you that I respect those other teams, the 49ers, the Eagles, and even today, I will always be a Dallas Cowboys fan for the rest of my life. I will never switch to the Houston Texans, never. Then again, though, I think the Houston Texans are having a very nice run, starting in 2011, really. I think Garrett Kubiak has done a good job turning the team around. I really like Matt Schaub's style, Arian Foster. Andre Johnson is still going strong at age 30 plus. I think the Texans will win. They will advance to the Super Bowl before the decade's over. They have to. J.J. Watt scares the living heck out of me. And when the Cowboys play the Texans again next season, I think Watt's going to knock out Tony Romo, because Tony with them will be 34 by then, and it'll be very interesting. But yeah, I mean, I love football in general. Cowboys, as I said, will always be my team, but I love to watch football, period. And I can go on and on about football. I'm talking about American football, of course. But yes, American football, I love it. And it doesn't matter who's playing, if it's the Cowboys and Eagles, or the Eagles and Redskins, or if it's the Patriots and the Colts, or the Broncos and... I just love the game of football. And going back to what I was talking about, you mentioned that I was a real Dallas Cowboys fan, and that's just the way it is, because that's how how can I explain this? Let's just say the Cowboys haven't really had a America's team type play really since the year 2000 started. Because they haven't won the Super Bowl, they haven't even made it back to the NFC Championship game, and they haven't even won the NFC Divisional game yet. I mean, they lost to first the Giants in 2007, then again in 2009 to the Vikings, and they're in a rebuilding mode right now, and so. In one way, they are America's team because they still have that strong fan base. I guess maybe that's what people mean, those crazy fans mean when they say that, we're still America's team because we got the loyal fan base. Okay, in that sense, yes. But in terms of championships and recent success, no, the Cowboys don't deserve that title in terms of America's team. The title really belongs to either the Patriots, maybe the Giants, or the Steelers, because the Steelers have more Super Bowl wins than the Cowboys. The Giants recently won the Super Bowl in the past 5 years, and the Patriots, of course, had their own dynasty in the 2000s. So, like I said, America's team for the Cowboys, yes, but in terms of fan support, but that's it. I mean, the Cowboys have a ways to go. I mean, Monty Kiffin's defense, his system is being implemented this year, and so far it looks good. But again, we got a ways to go with the 4-3 defense. Bill Callahan has done a decent job, but no run game yet, and I think that's one reason why we lost to the Chiefs is no strong rushing offense to help Tony Romo out. And if that's the case again this year, the Cowboys will not make the playoffs, and that's the reality. No rushing game, no playoffs. But surprisingly, so far, they really haven't had any major penalties, and that's good because they've been the most penalized team the past few years. And really, the only major penalty was against Claiborne in that game against the Chiefs, so that ultimately sealed the game for the Chiefs. And the rally right now for the Dallas Cowboys is they're in rebuilding mode. They got lots of things to fix. The rushing, getting used to the 4-3 defense, and with Tony Romo getting to 34, and with Des Bryant and these guys, Miles Austin, getting the groove on, they need to have their rushing offense going. Otherwise, we can't do it. And the O-line needs to protect Tony Romo more because he's got bruised ribs right now, and he can't afford to take any more hits. And I still have faith in Romo. I thought it was ridiculous he got that big contract extension in the offseason. I knew he would get an extension, but not that big. For a guy who's only won one playoff game and to get a 9-figure salary contract and with $60 million guaranteed, that's a little too much. But then again, it is Jerry Jones' team, and Jerry Jones can do whatever the heck he wants to. But I still have faith in Romo. I think he comes out strong at the beginning of every season. Yes, the boys and him get weak till in December. But for Romo to still be with them, I think he has in his mind that he tells himself, "Hey, yes, we struggle in December, but the next season is a new season, and we just gotta come out strong and do what we can." So that's why I have faith in Romo. Despite a terrible season ending, he comes back strong the next season, and I hope by the decade end he finishes the season with a Super Bowl ring for all the Cowboys, of course. But no, I mean, as I mentioned before, I love football. Cowboys are my team. Cowboys right now are rebuilding mode. They have the big fan loyal base, so in that sense, they're America's team. But yeah, I can't wait for the season to unfold. It'll be very interesting.